To go along with the release of our lap steel instructional DVDs, I'll be posting some helpful tips and some fun stuff here on YouTube. Today I want to go over, and this is very important for anyone who's picked up that DVD already, and thank you for your support on that, intonating the lap steel. Now what we're going to need here is just simply a screwdriver that's going to fit the screws on your lap steel tailpiece, all right? And you just have to take a look. This one happens to be flathead. I've got a little electrician screwdriver here. And some kind of a tuner. I always have a few of these snark tuners laying around and just clip them on the headstock and can then really get a close look at what the pitch is doing there. All right, I'm going to show you. This one is actually, I've used this for all the videos, and it was in tune fine, but I threw the G string out, and I want to show you what happens here, how this kind of fools the ear a little bit or gets you confused. Let's listen now to the open strings. This is tuned to C6, okay? So the tuning is C, E, G, and then A, C, E. Okay, as you can hear, that all sounds nicely in tune. Okay, and now some people might even say, okay, hey, we're going to check the harmonics, see if those are okay, and that's where it'll fool you. C, E, G, all right, A, C, E. Harmonics will always be the same pitch as the open string. They're just simply a half division of that by definition. So the thing that kind of sneaks in and fools you, you hear your open strings being in tune and you put your new strings on and tighten them up and pull the slack out of them and get them all ready and your lap steel's in tune. Then you move up to a higher position and play a chord, and all of a sudden, why does that sound so awful? Why is that out of tune? And the thing is here is even a fretless instrument like the lap steel needs to be intonated in order to make sure that chords sound correctly. Now, with single note lines, you can actually compensate by ear as you get good with it. And if a string is out of tune or out of intonation, you're going to be able to compensate for that with the slide. But when you're doing a straight bar position, it's going to be, well, basically impossible to move down one string, for example, to make it a little flatter while you're keeping another two strings perfectly straight. Example in point, coming up here, this G string is now too sharp, and the reason for that is that this tailpiece right here, okay, for the G string, is too close to the nut. It's made the string too short, okay? Now a shorter string means a higher pitch. Now when you get up to the 12th fret, that means the distance here, okay, the distance from let's put it this way, the distance from the 12th fret or 12th position marker, I should say, this is not a fretted instrument, of course, from the 12th position marker to the nut is always the same. That will not change. However, when you've put the bar in a straight position up here at the 12th position marker, the distances will change according to the way the saddle pieces are set, all right? So if this saddle piece is too close to the 12th position marker, that pitch is going to be too high, hence the string is sharp, okay? So that's what our problem is here. Now the rule of thumb is, let's listen to these notes here, and I'm going to go in and show you. Actually, we'll go look close at the tuner, okay, so you can see exactly what the problem is, and then I'll talk about the remedy. Here's a close look at the tuning of each string now. First the low C, in tune, open. The E string is also in tune, open. The G string is also in tune, open. We'll stick to those because I'm showing you the G string here. Next, let's hear the harmonics at the 12th fret. Okay, 12th fret of low E string is correct. 12th fret of the, that was low C, that's low E, and now the G string, all correct. The harmonics are always going to be fine because they're just simply directly related to the open string no matter how long or short it is. Now, here's where we see what the problem is. Okay, C, came up with the slide now. E, okay, and then the G. Okay, you see that the G is rather sharp. Okay, that's going to sound pretty lousy when you try to play the C and the G together, for instance. All right, sounds very out of tune. So that means you have an instrument that's out of tune with itself, and that's what we're here to fix. Close look at the lap steel now. All we're going to do is get a, in this case I need a flathead screwdriver. This is sort of the Gibson Tune-O-Matic style bridge that's been put on this lap steel from SX, a cool little ash lap steel. You just need to get in there, get into that screw. I've loosened the string, okay? All right, that one's nice and loose now because you don't want to be moving the screw while that string is up to pitch. You might snap it. Okay, and to get this saddle to move back, we just need to start turning this counterclockwise. And I hope you can see it. That way the saddle is moving back. Now I would move it a couple of millimeters, just a little fraction of an inch, quarter of an inch, sort of. And then tune it up and check it again. All right. So let's go back now, and I'm going to again go through the strings. After I've made this adjustment, you're going to need to retune, bring this back up to pitch. Again, compare the harmonic at the 12th fret to when you have the bar there. Okay. If it's still too sharp, you need to move it back this way. If the note is still too flat in comparison to the harmonic at exactly the 12th position, then you need to move it back this way. All right. So let's have a listen now to when the lap steel is perfectly intonated. So yes, even fretless instruments like the lap steel need to be intonated when you're going to be playing chords. All right, so now that C's in tune, that C's in tune, and that C's in tune. Okay, so everything's sounding good. All right, that's something that you want to really make sure that your instrument is properly intonated before you start working on your technique. Otherwise, you'll wind up compensating with the bar. You're going to wind up always playing at a strange angle or something, and things are still not going to sound right. So I hope this has been helpful to you. If you have any questions at all, please go ahead and drop them in the comments section here, and I'll come and try to answer them. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel here and check out our Facebook page. There I'll be also posting links to the videos and such as they come up. Of course, go get our double DVD set of Learn to Play Lap Steel Guitar. And there's tons of lessons like this. And this one's just an additional one on top of all the things in the 5.5 hours on the DVD. All right, had to get in a little advertisement. Thanks for watching, and see you next time around.